I am solo camping it today, but I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm not gonna camp with a tent tonight. So I'm out here, I got my snowshoes on, I'm pulling the polk sled, and I'm gonna attempt to sleep out in nature without a tent because there is an old canoe on the side of the forest and it's just hanging out here. So I'm gonna climb up here and check it out and see if I can actually fit under there. But I think that's gonna be my home for tonight. I tried to get here a little earlier, but the sun is down. The trees and the forest and kind of the hills around here are kind of blocking the sunset, so you can kind of see it through the woods. Yeah, it's gonna get dark really fast and it's gonna get cold. It was 0 degrees when I left, so I'm gonna see what the temperature is now. I can feel it's pretty cold in my fingertips, so hopefully I can keep them warm and kind of get my bed set up for the night and then get some dinner going. I'm just gonna drop the sled and my backpack there for now. Leave it. Oh. The snow is it's like powdery, but you got a crust on top of it. So I'm gonna try and make a little bit of a walkway so I can get everything in and back here. Woo! Here. Oh wow. Okay. All right, so here's the canoe. And here's what it looks like underneath. So there's a net, there's some life jackets, it looks like, and then just a bunch of understory brush. So I think I have a little bit of a job to do. I'm gonna break some of these branches up and try and fill in the gap so I have like a flatter surface to sleep on. I'm just gonna use my sleeping bag and some sleeping pads. There's a lot of down branches, so I'm just gonna kind of break these up and make a flatter surface for myself and see how that goes. So kind of my goal before it gets too dark is to get a bed made. There's a lot of downed wood. You can see like there's a tree there. There's a tree over here, kind of buried in snow, and just put a bunch of tree boughs down. Okay, so let's find the saw. All right, found my saw. That'll help. A lot of those branches are already dead, and dried out, so they break off really easy. But just in case, I got this to help out. All right, let's go find some branches. All right, I'm just gonna get started with that and see how much I actually need, what's necessary. Okay, so in here, there's a lot of wood. There's some life jackets down here that are frozen. Might need some more branches just to kind of pad down. The ground is kind of in a slope, and so my idea is that I kind of make it flat, and then I'll put my two sleeping pads on top and my actual sleeping bag on top of that. Right now they're pretty poofy, but when I step on them, or when I lay in there and get in there and push it down, it'll be a little bit flatter. But there's some dead branches right here, so I'll just try and collect a few of those and see if I can get in there and then squish those down and see how that goes. Okay, so I brought 2 of these out here, and I'm gonna lay them on top of the branches and kind of squish them down and see how we do with that. So this is what it looks like. It's just a canoe covered in snow, flipped over. It's somebody's canoe because it's locked up, just sitting on the side of the lake, which is kind of cool. And I'm just gonna sleep under it, and let's see if I can get in here without banging the camera around too much. I can really just crawl in here. It's like a little cave. Okay. It's a little bit harder to maneuver because there's a wire in here, but let's get it figured out. There we go. I'm sure that is super noisy on the GoPro. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's see. I can lay this one up here and I'll get my head, and then I just need a little bit further from my foot. Okay, let's see. I got a great view. I got the mountain, I got the lake out there and the trees. In here, I don't know if you can see, this is all ice. All ice. It must have been wet whenever, it must have froze and then they flipped it over. I don't know how that even stuck there. But this is pretty nice. I saw some animal tracks out there when I was walking around. So, might be a lot of, I don't know if there'll be any visitors tonight. I think there's definitely rabbits and fox out in here. Maybe a lynx or two, definitely moose tracks. Hopefully no other critters get the idea that they could come and get out of the weather underneath this boat, because that'll be an adventure in itself. But as you can see, my feet are not on here, so I'm going to put the other pad a little bit longer and get it to about these life jackets, and then just sleep under here. That's going to be comfortable. It already feels a lot warmer in here, so that's nice. Just going to kind of act as a nice barrier. So I always feel more comfortable. Tree stuck in my head. I always feel more comfortable as long as I know I have a shelter built. And that's always like my biggest when I'm out here, especially on my own, is I gotta get, or with the kids, I gotta get the shelter built and make sure that I have a place that I can get away from the elements, the wind or the rain or the snow. And once I have that down, then I can like relax a little bit and feel pretty good about stuff. Look at these little tracks. This might even be bird tracks on here. So we got a lot of animals in this area. Let's take a temperature check. 0 still, a little bit below 0. Sky's cloudy though. Hopefully it'll warm up a little bit. And I'll get my sleeping bag out and laid out so we can start to poof up a little bit while I'm out here. It's 3:12. I think sunset's around 3:50, but I have light until about maybe an extra hour after that. All right, I got the sleeping bag stretched out, and I propped the foot part up on this wire so it can kind of not just be sitting in on the debris. And then once I get it situated, I'll be able to straighten that out a bit. But for now, The sleeping bag is starting to fluff up and it's getting a little bit later now. So I'm gonna probably just start to think about making dinner and moving towards that. Yeah, just find a little spot to kind of get everything situated. I pulled everything out of my bag. I have a chair, this blue foam that I'm going to use to set the stove on. There's my stove, fuel. My fuel's in my jacket. My food and my water. Now I have 2 liters of water, and I have to kind of make sure it doesn't freeze. I'm not sure how to keep it warm completely tonight. I'll sleep with one of them, and I'll probably use one of them tonight, so I have one for the morning. But I just have to keep my eye on it so it doesn't freeze before I take it into my sleeping bag. So that's one thing I have to watch out. I got my jackets full of the isobutane. In Jonathan's video that you saw, he really struggled with the isobutane working in the cold weather. His temperatures I think were a lot colder than what mine are going to be. And the temperature's dropping, and kind of quickly too. So I'm at like maybe -4. So I think I'm just gonna try and pack down some of the snow, make a little kitchen, and then get some food going. That chair is really tricky. It's like all wobbly and stringy and leggy, and it's pretty nice to have, and I can sit up off the ground, but it's kind of like a puzzle to get it figured out. On the menu tonight is Thai green curry. Cedar had asked me about making a curry, and I want to give it a try just to make sure it turned out. I was actually going to buy one from the store, but if you buy one from the store, traditionally Thai curry has fish sauce in it. And so I thought, I bet I can make it and just leave that out. Now, when we were in Thailand, there were different substitutes. So you could substitute certain things for fish sauce, and then because we took a Thai cooking class, and you could substitute certain things for oyster sauce. I made this curry at home with the green curry paste, and then I found this really cool Asian market that had like the lime leaves I was looking for, and lemongrass, plus the coconut milk. And so now I'm going to make this rice. It's just minute jasmine rice. Oh, it's kind of frozen. And I just add a little water, boil it, and then I should be able to just mix that curry in and let it warm up, and that should be pretty good. I've been storing the lighters inside my pockets as well, just because I need them to work when I need them to work. So, got these. I have a lot of pockets and a lot of zippers, and they're all full. Whew. All right. Need that lighter in a safe spot. I'm gonna get a little bit of water in here. You don't need a lot of water with the instant rice. You just need a little bit. Now I'm not gonna make all this rice. It's just me. Oh, I think I might make it all. It looks really good. Doesn't look like too much. All right. Uh-oh. My bag's frozen. Okay. All right, let's get this. Oh, phew. Get some of this curry in here. Whew. Brr. Oh, it smells amazing. Curry, lemongrass, basil. There's some green beans in here. Oh yeah, I put eggplant in here too. The little tiny eggplants. I got those from the shop. Oh, wow. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, we got the eggplant and the green beans. And I tried to take all the lime leaves out. I did a rookie move where I cut the lime leaves up really small. And then I had to try and pull them out. Like, that's probably one. You're not supposed to eat those. They're, I think it was Kaffir leaves. So I think those are the lime leaves, but it said to pull those out. And then lemongrass, it said if you got it cut up really little, you could just eat it probably. But I tried to scoop a lot of the lemongrass out of it as well. It's kind of seemed a little woodier. Oh, it's good. It's thickening up. Oh man, this is gonna be good. So it said to put Asian fried shallots on it, but I have just onion crisps. So I'm gonna add onion crisps on top. And of course I brought sriracha. So some chili sauce, I'll put that on there too. And this is going to be a very warm, spicy meal that should keep me toasty tonight or help me stay warm. Check that out. Thai green curry with eggplant and green beans and topped with crispy onions and blue agave sriracha. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so good. Oh man. Ooh, that's spicy. Oh man. I really wish Cedar was out here with me because this was kind of her meal request. But the temperatures have been so cold that we're just kind of like figuring out if the kids are ready for that or not. Forrest was going to go out with Jonathan last time, but he kind of bailed at the last minute. And Cedar was planning on, I planned this for Cedar to come with me, but I wasn't sure what the temperatures were going to be like. But this is so good, I will definitely be making it for her in the future. I was a little worried that this is a kind of a large portion for me, but I'm cold and my body's gonna need this tonight, so I'm just gonna eat the whole thing. Being out in the wilderness, you don't really want leftovers. I mean, you don't have to carry stuff out. You don't want to store stuff. So really getting that portion size is figured out is pretty important. All right, I ate it. It's done. Dinner's done. So all my little curry and stuff is kind of frozen in here. So I don't even know if snow is going to actually help clean this. It's just making it more frozen. Okay, it's kind of staying steady at like -6, so that's good. It's really pretty here. This forest is amazing. So here's our little, this is our sleeping nook for the night. It's so cold that the trees have hoarfrost on them. Look how pretty they are. Yeah, it's just this like crumbly frost that forms on the trees. It is so pretty. Lots of prints. There's something walking through there, maybe a fox. And then look at those. I don't know if you see the big ones right there. That's definitely a moose, super deep. I'll have to watch and see if I see any moose out here. There's a good chance. More. Oh, look at this. This could be... That might just be a ski pole hole, but it could also be the like the voles, and which is kind of like a little mouse. They live underneath the snow. You can Google it because it's all over the internet, but there's like the fox. So the voles will chew or like dig tunnels throughout a whole tunnel system underneath the snow so that they can stay safe from the owls and the hawks and the fox and coyotes and things that might hunt it. So they have this whole network of systems that goes underneath the snow. And I don't know what it looks like. This is probably maybe just from someone's ski pole or something, but now they can have a whole system under there where they can play and run, and they probably don't play that much. They probably just basically hunt and sleep and survive. But biologically speaking, that's probably what's going on. But it's pretty cool adaptation, because then all those animals that are trying to hunt for them have a harder time finding it. But on the internet, you can watch like a red fox like hopping on the snow and diving into those tunnels and trying to get the little critters below. Oh, it's nice out. Cold and fresh. Ooh, what's this? There's some big tracks. Looks like a moose. But look at this over here. What's that? Is that Bigfoot? I hope that's not Bigfoot. What is that? It's like from here. And it goes over there. That's the next one. Here to here. I don't know. That is actually... Wow. And there's more. You can't really see them. So there's one here. Okay, so it's here. Then there's a big step here. And then a big step there. There. And then another one way out there. Okay, maybe we shouldn't look for animal tracks at night before we go to sleep. Alright. Here's the canoe. Totally buried. There's a few things I'm going to bring into the sleeping bag with me. I have the fuel canister. That'll come with me. And I'll bring the water bottle. I have the GoPro batteries. And the GoPro will be with me. Headlamp. Probably the other lights. Just because everything starts to not work when it gets really cold. So we do have these lights. Might string them up for fun. Okay. There you go. Stream some little lights up there. You always got to make it feel like home, for sure. It's home for the night, so that's good enough. Yeah, there's no breeze, so I want to keep a tight camp just in case one comes. So I don't want wrappers or even this foam pad to be sitting around. I'm going to tuck it underneath my bag. You just never know if there's a breeze is going to come in the night, and I don't want to have to get out of my sleeping bag to deal with stuff that blew away or is, flying across the lake. Everything's kind of cleaned up and put away. I'm gonna leave the lid off my coffee mug because I don't want it to freeze together. This is bundled up and just sitting here. I don't think you're gonna have any problems with anything out there, hopefully. I mean, now that we know that Bigfoot lives out here and I just saw the footprints, who knows what's gonna happen tonight, but took my glasses off because I'm hoping I don't have to see it. I have not made the move into the sleeping bag, but I got my sleeping socks ready. I put all of everything that I want to have in the sleeping bag with me is in here, and this is like lights and the isobutane container. Oh, my mittens that have hand warmers in them. Those are activated and warm, so that's good. I'm gonna put my glasses in there in case I do have an issue in the night and I need to like see far away, which I can't imagine I do, or will want to see whatever is going on. So, but I'll put those in there just so I have them. Oh yeah, I do have my book in there. I'm still working on that mystery. Okay, everyone. I am under the canoe, but I'm not in my sleeping bag yet, so I gotta figure out how to do this. Let's see. Get my gloves on. That's number one. Turn around so I can sit in the bag, or at least on the bag. So I gotta get my boots off and get my backup socks on. These are super thick wool socks, so they're gonna be toasty. Oh, this is good. Get my fingers warm. They were getting cold out there. Actually feels nice in here, or like, I don't know, not as chilly, but maybe it's because I'm confined and heating this little space up. This is my bag of stuff that I'm going to keep in my sleeping bag with me. I haven't decided if I'm going to sleep with my water. It's frozen shut. I cannot open it anymore. But I'm a little afraid it might thaw in my sleeping bag, and then it might not be sealed right and it might leak on my bag. And I definitely don't want that to happen. Oh. Oh. That'll be warm. And I have this boot. I think I'll stick it up here. All right. Whew. Whew. I am in the bag. Who thought that such a little thing would be so important? It's a little lumpy. I'm just laying on. I got a bunch of these black spruce branches underneath me. I got my bag of stuff. I'm going to shove that in my sleeping bag because it's everything that has batteries or fuel. Or my mittens. Things I might need to find too. It's good to have it all in one spot. Okay. I'm going to put this in here. Keep that warm. And warm up. Let's see. My feet are a little colder now that I took the boots off, but I think it just needs to take a few minutes to warm up. My hands feel warmer now than they did before. I brought the thermometer in here. Oh my gosh. So it's saying it's like -3. So I don't know. I don't know if this thing is super accurate or if it actually is much warmer in here than like 3 feet out there. I want to stick it in the trees. Let's stick it in the tree branches and look at it in the morning. I have my water sitting in the tree branches too. I'm not sure what to do with them yet. One of the cool features of this sleeping bag is that it has this armhole. So I can actually sleep in here. Or I can take my hands out and read a book. I don't have to take my whole body out like what I'm doing right now. But it's really puffy, so I don't know. I have to sit on my side anyways. Oh. Okay. Oh, nice. I'm just gonna try and get this, rub my feet together to try and get my feet in the lower part of my sleeping bag warmed up. It'll be a cold night, but it won't be too bad, I don't think. It's pretty good in here. I have this, so this is a canoe and it's upside down, so it has like the bench, the middle bench where somebody would sit. I just tuck my mucklucks up there. No wind. It's not supposed to rain or snow. Mostly snow. In the forecast. It keeps changing though, like if it gets warmer, it's going to snow. But if it stays really cold, it's not going to. But there's some clouds rolling in. So that might be a good sign of it warming up. But then we're going to have snow, so we'll see. Whew. Yeah, it's a little cold. A little chilly. There's a slight chance of a curious, like maybe a curious fox or a curious, I don't know if lynx are curious, maybe snooping around, but I think for the most part, it's cold, so everything's going to be hunkering down. We did have a moose and her baby in our yard about a month ago, eating our apple tree, of course, but that was at like 4 in the morning. They triggered our security camera, and we all woke up at 4 in the morning and ran to see what it was, and it was a moose out there just chomping away, eating stuff. Whew. I've been reading my book. It's so good. It's a mystery. It's The Mystery of Miss Christie. So it's historical fiction, but based on her disappearance in between writing mystery stories. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cold and chilly. The air's crisp, but I'm feeling pretty toasty on the Z-Rest. I thought for a little bit it might be too cold, but it's okay. My feet are starting to warm up. My hands have been warm, but I'm going to put them in my mittens because they have hand warmers and I want them to be really warm. And hopefully I can, reading's kind of making me sleepy, so hopefully I'll go to bed soon and sleep for a long time. Because it's not going to be light until after 9 o'clock in the morning, so I still have 14 hours of darkness. And before I'm going to really try and emerge out of my sleeping bag. So I'm going to try and read and drift off a little bit and hopefully stay warm. If anything happens in the night, I'll turn the camera on and let you know. But mostly, I think I'm getting sleepy. Look it. There's a breeze. Huh. It's a little bit of a breeze. There wasn't that earlier. That's just now kicking in. It's actually kind of tunneling right into here. So hopefully that doesn't become a problem later. But as of right now, everything's peaceful and quiet. Haven't heard any critters walking around or any footsteps. So that's good. Alrighty, I'm going to crawl back into my sleeping bag and I will either see you in the morning or if anything happens later tonight. Stay warm, everyone. It's a chilly night tonight. Good morning. I'm all bundled up in this sleeping bag. Let's see if I can get out of it. It is like 8:45 and it's super dark out still. But I slept really well. I slept really warm, so that's good. I wouldn't say really warm, but I slept pretty warm. And let's see what the temperature is.
Yeah, it's about 12 degrees. So it's not as cold as it was when I went to bed. It's definitely like a lot warmer, or it feels warmer at least. My hood's off, my mittens are off. The sleeping bag worked out great underneath this canoe, and these branches worked pretty well. Just sleeping on them kept me pretty comfortable all night. I didn't slide around too much. I didn't hear noises or anything. I didn't hear animals. So yeah, I slept pretty well. I'm gonna wait till the sun comes up a little more, and I just got up and put the fuel canister back in my jacket, and check my. Oh no! I think my water's frozen solid. We might change what I eat for breakfast today. Okay, I'm gonna try and warm that up too. I'll put that in my sleep bag, and then I'll probably hang out in here for like another hour just to see if I can warm that water up. I didn't want to sleep with my water bottle because the threads were frozen, and I kept having to unscrew it and screw it, and I was a little bit nervous that I hadn't screwed it on tight enough. And then it did freeze, and I didn't want it to like thaw in my sleeping bag at night and then leak water without me knowing or with me knowing. So I decided to leave it out on purpose, but I kind of put it on the branches. I thought maybe that would insulate it a little bit, but it didn't. So I'll try and warm that up. I don't know. I didn't think it actually freeze solid, so that's kind of an issue. But yeah, I'll probably lay here for another hour, warm up the fuel, warm up the water bottle, and then hopefully try and get something warm to eat and drink. Okay, so it's been about an hour. I had to put my water bottle back outside because look at my sleeping bag. I don't know if you can see that. It is soaking wet from the water bottle thawing. And so I'm glad I didn't keep it in my sleeping bag. Usually what I do is keep the water bottles in my sleeping bag in a dry bag, but I put everything else in the dry bag that I needed in here. And so I didn't have an extra dry bag. So I think that's going to be my next purchase, is an extra dry bag. I have an alternative plan for coffee this morning, so I'll tell you about that as soon as I get out of here. Out of this bag, out of this canoe. It's been a good home. It worked. It totally worked. To keep me warm all night and dry. So until I put the water bottle in. Okay, it's a little bit of a challenge getting out because the entrance is lower, but it's not too bad. Okay, all right. Whew. I hear a funny sound. Ravens can make lots of sounds, so it might be a raven. I do have my fuel on me, and although my water froze, I am surrounded by snow. So I think I can boil some snow and get some coffee going. All right, let's go grab some snow. I got my pan. Don't have very good light. But I figure there's a bunch of snow on the canoe. Whoa, it's really deep over here. I'll just kind of scrape that first layer off. only want a little bit at first because I want to get that melted. I think you're supposed to add water to it, but I don't have water, so I'm going to try and get this first layer, and then if it's good, then I'll grab my other pan and scoop some more in. I got my handle. Yes! I don't know how much snow I need. I've never done this before. All right. This is good to go. Let that sit over here. So this amount of grits I wrote on it needs 1.5 cups of water. Can't quite tell how much is in here, so I'll just pour it in. Ooh, it's gonna be good. Yeah, so these are instant grits, and I think you can you just boil them for about 5 minutes. Yay, breakfast! I wasn't sure this was gonna happen today. We might have some spruce needles in there. Yep. A little bit of spruce needles. But we have breakfast. I have 2 chunks of butter. Oh, okay. I'm gonna stick that in there now. And bury it. Salt. And if it's not frozen, oh, it might be frozen, sriracha. Yes, hot food and a hot drink. Oh. It's kind of a lot of pepper. Just a little bit of salt. Some Himalayan pink salt. I should have slept with this too, in my pocket. Oh. Just a little tiny bit. All right, I'm gonna sit back, relax, eat these grits, and drink this coffee, and then it'll be time to pack up. Ooh, that's good.
loaded, locked and loaded. Let's head on out. All right, everyone, if you like that adventure, please like and subscribe. Share this out with a friend, and I will see you in the next episode.